This video is sponsored by BoConcept. Hi everyone, sorry for the lack of video last week, but it was someone's birthday, which was celebrated in Paris. It was just amazing getting a little bit of spring air into my body. Okay, so I've had this idea for this video on my list for quite a while now. Sort of a follow-up to my how to choose the right sofa video I did back in August. If you are anything like me, then you spend a lot of time in your living room. It's also the room you most often showcase when you have visitors. So we will naturally want it to look good. Hence the simple and very genius title, How to Make Your Living Room Look Good. Sure, I have covered most of these tips in previous videos, like a living room design checklist video that's easy and not at all intimidating. Like a living room designed for dummies, except no one's calling anyone a dummy. I really appreciate all of you who are already subscribers to this channel. Thank you. But if you're new here, I share tips on Scandinavian interior design almost every week. So do hit that subscribe button if you want your home to look amazing. Oh, and do give this video a thumbs up while you're at it. It really helps me out a lot. I think we've all been there, staring at our living room, scratching our heads as to why it's just not right. Well, that's all about to change because baby, in this video, I will give you a crystal clear list on just 7 things that will do wonders and fix all. Okay, maybe just most of your living room design issue. First up is my number 1. Look, as you know, we like it big on this channel. But I know those large rugs don't usually come cheap, which is also a very understandable reason for not being able to go big, super big. But I promise there are affordable options if you just know where to look. The obvious is of course wait for sales or take a little extra time to save up for the right one. Some of the affordable Scandi rug brands to check out is Nordic Nuts and Rock Solid, but many of the greater design brands also have some great rug options. Nina Brun designed one for Menu. I really like Pauline Detour's rope rug for Hem, and of course you can always count on good old IKEA to help us out. Just always go for a hand-knitted version. So, there's a few stats to remember. Typically, living room rug sizes are 170 by 240 or 200 by 300. Typically, the rug should not be shorter than the length of your sofa. Always run the rug the length of the sofa. Ideally, a rug should protrude all around. Make sure your rug is at least 40 centimeters wider than your sofa on both sides. So if your furniture is in the middle of the room, the rug should have space all around it. If your sofa is against the wall, then having just the front legs standing on the rug will be sufficient. Make sure to have enough space for a walkway between large furniture pieces like the sofa and the coffee table. I'd say at least 40 to 50 centimeters. That will also help you choose the right size rug. Pretty painless, right? Well, the next one might not be so easy for some of you. My number 2 is another don't. It's literally the basic rule of Scandinavian style, and while I may have not been following this rule myself always, I'm a huge offender when it comes to buying little things I don't necessarily need. I mean, if I turn around right now, I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 small plates. And some might argue I have too many piles of books too, but I am a design hoarder. I can't help it. Sue me. I'm getting better, but it's a constant struggle. Also, this tip may have maximalists up in arms, But let me make my case. You don't have to follow every rule if you're happy with what you got going on already. But sometimes it's easy for things to get bitsy and too visually busy. If you want to keep your maximalist style going, just make sure there's a good variety of skills in your decor. That is going to really help your eye bounce around instead of getting a wall of the same. But for those of you not wanting to go maximalist and prefer mediumism, I guess that's me, or minimalism, this one is for you. You want to let the things you really love have some breathing room because that will let you breathe a little easier. Masters of Scandinavian minimalism is my Norwegian friends Katarina and Elizabeth Heyer. There's not a single thing in their homes out of place. For me, clutter or having too much stuff in a space gives me a low grade of anxiety, especially if it's not my own piles. I don't know how many times I have gone from 1 to 1,000 in a matter of seconds because of clutter. Sadly, I'm not kidding. I promise how your home looks affects you both good and bad, depending on how happy you are with it. In my own living room behind me, the color palette is pretty solid, helping it to look less chaotic but still interesting with the variety of tones, materials and shapes. Yet nothing is packed together except maybe the piles of books. But I like it that way. In my opinion, there are really not too many here. There's plenty of beautiful pieces, but it's less cramped, so you can take it all in. Okay, now for an easy point, which also happens to be the sponsor of this video. Thank you, BoConcept. The sofa is without a doubt the biggest piece of furniture you own, and besides your bed, it's most likely where you spend most of your time in your home. So obviously, it needs to be awesome. As I've said many times on this channel, choose a neutral sofa, and by neutral I mean choose one in just one color. And in the Scandi style, you'll most likely be best off with one in beige, black or gray. I'd say go for any version of a tight back sofa. They're sturdier due to the lack of back cushions, usually have more of a structural shape, and although they have a reputation of not always being the most comfortable, they're just perfect in the Scandi decor. But that also allows you to have fun with pillow styling. Yay! Vary the sizes and shapes of your pillows, and of course choose different colors and fabrics. But be careful cramming in too many pillows. Spread them out, but never make it symmetrical. That's a never. The sofa I have is by BoConcept in a grayish boucle-like fabric, which ticks all the boxes for me. It's super strong fabric, which doesn't wear with time, and it's super easy to keep, looking super sharp. I love it. If you want even more advice on choosing the right sofa, you should watch my How to Choose the Right Sofa video. I have also left a link to the sofa down below in the description if you want one too. You won't regret it, I promise. This one is so simple but so easily forgotten. A style throw really makes it look like your living room's got its together. But there's a ton of ways to do it, so let's look at some of my favorites. First, we have the more organic look. It may take you 15 tries, but once it's just right, it looks pretty effortless. The hack is to grab the throw slightly off center, pick it up, and then gently toss it onto the sofa. It honestly works most of the time. Taking less time is the slightly less organic look, but it still has a casual vibe. Just fold long ways, then in half, slightly separate those halves, then lay it nicely onto your seat cushion, pile a few throw pillows on top, boom, style throw perfection. And now to the structured and very easy ones. There's the folded nicely over the back look that I also really like. It can also be used on the chaise if you have one of those. It's a great way to easily have your throw looking intentional and well designed. Plus, it's a nice way to give the back of your sofa some attention. Naturally, this one only works if your sofa is not against a wall. In the same category, we have folded nicely over the arm look, which I would imagine is how the majority of us style this sofa throw. Probably because it's so easy. Plus, if you're entering your living room and are greeted by the side of your sofa, it's a nice way to add some pattern and texture. Also, it's very convenient when you need to cozy up on a cold winter evening. Do note, if you have a decent sized side table next to your sofa, it might look a little cramped. This is where those coffee table books and multiple plates come into place. They add more texture, look super pretty, and give a little height to your things on display. I like to make it very simple. Place a couple of small piles of your favorite decor books and let me make it very clear. Do not overdo this one. A pile of 3 is maximum. Add 1 or 2 of those plates or maybe a cute tray, a nice scented candle, and top it all off with 1 or 2 decorative items. Easy. It's all about keeping things visually interesting. Of course, make sure to leave room for the occasional snack bowl or, more importantly, a glass of wine or a cocktail. So lighting is pretty important in the Scandi decor. So since you need light to, not sit in complete darkness in your living room, you might as well use it for your advantage. I'd say go for at least both a floor lamp and at least 1 table lamp, depending on your room size, of course. Varying heights will make your room look interesting, and having more than 1 lamp will balance the light throughout your room. There are also some very interesting wall lights that will make your room look amazing. Both a step and Millef & Severin for Valerie Optics are seen in the most modern Scandi homes at the moment. One last thing about lamps, don't go matching. Meaning, don't have 2 of the same lamp in the same living room. Symmetry in the living room looks dated very quickly. We've almost made it to the end. Last one. I'd say the main purpose of a living room is to have a place to hang out with people you like and want to talk to. Okay, yeah, if there's a movie on, then everyone pipe down. Although, I can rarely keep my mouth shut with opinions throughout a movie watched at home. I'm one of them, sorry. But regardless of movie night, you want to set up your living room to encourage conversation. Size obviously matters. Also, when it comes to the size of living room furniture. You can't pack in a sofa, 2 chairs, and a bench seat if your living room is tiny. But if you can have more than just a single sofa, then make sure all of your seating isn't all in a line on just one side of the room. Having the sofa on one side of your coffee table and chairs on the other is a good way of creating that conversation space. You can also, especially if the room isn't big enough, put a chair on each side of the sofa facing in. They aren't across, but they also aren't technically on the same side as the sofa. Pretty much like I've done here in my own living room. Only I have 1 chair and 1 sofa. Alright class, dismissed. Did you learn anything? Reminded of some hot tips maybe? I actually update my coffee table styling almost every week to give it a little refresh. And I really try to keep it as clutter-free as possible. Unless you are 100% in love with your living room, I challenge you to try one of my tips before the next video is out. Deal? Let me know which one you're going to try in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. Love you, mean it. Until next time.